What is going on, everybody? It's Matt Marchese, also known as Islanders Daily, your home from everything from the four-time Stanley Cup champions, New York Islanders. On today's episode, not a lot of news has occurred over the day, but we still have some things to talk about. We got some new numbers on the Islanders. Matt Martin hosted a charity event that we'll talk a little bit about. We're going to dive into the UBS attendance, and today is our Maxim Shabanov outlook for the season. So to get things started, we're going to be talking about the new numbers. Yes, that's right. A couple Islanders do have new numbers. New Islanders, new numbers. So Jonathan Drouin will be wearing number 29 on the season, taking Brock Nelson's number. Not even a full year removed from getting rid of Nelson. 29 will be back on the island, except it will be Jonathan Drouin wearing it this year. So that was kind of a shocker to me. I'm surprised Drouin did take 29. I'm surprised they gave Drouin 29 right away. But hey, Brock Nelson's number will never be retired by the Islanders. Yes, he was a very good Islander, but not that good. So yeah, I'm completely fine with Drouin taking number 29. I think it's going to take a little of us fans getting used to seeing someone other than Brock Nelson wearing the 29. So it'll be a little weird at first, but I'm sure we'll all grow accustomed to it fairly quickly. Tony DeAngelo changed his number from number 4 to number 77, number that Tony DeAngelo has worn in the past before. And this number was last worn by Trevor Smith in 2008 and 2009. So it's been a while since somebody's been number 77 on the Islanders. And Tony DeAngelo will go back to that old number that he used to wear. Next up is Cal Ritchie will wear number 64 as long as he is on the team on the Islanders this year. And that was last worn by Sven Butenshon. Butenshon wore it back in 02-03, so again, a long time. I was only born in 2003, so that was the last time that number was worn, and it's Cal Ritchie will be wearing that as long as he's on the team, which, as the days go by, I kind of think that it's more of a possibility that Ritchie will be on the team going forward, but we'll wait. I think he will be down in the AHL, and he will probably wear that number in the AHL as well. And then Maxim Shabanov will wear number 41, last worn by Robert Bortuzzo. So, Shabanov, he just got on the island. We're going to be talking a little bit about his outlook today, and he'll go with number 41. Definitely an interesting number for a forward, especially of his caliber, somebody who's more of a shifty playmaker kind of player. You don't think of them wearing the number 41, but hey, Shabanov, maybe he's trying to start a trend. Maybe Shabanov's trying to start a trend. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And finally, Emil Heineman will be wearing number 1. That was last worn by Valtteri Filppula back in 2018-19. So it's been some time. And if Heineman plays like Filppula, I think that would be great. I want Heineman to play better, of course, but Filppula was definitely a very good player for the New York Islanders when he was here. And he was just a hard-nosed player. And hopefully Heineman kind of takes what Filppula did, but of course improves on it. We want Heineman to improve on what Filppula did. So yeah, those are all the new numbers that the Islanders will be rocking this season. I mean, there might be some more changes in the near future. I highly doubt it. So this is kind of going to be what it's looking like for the numbers. And of course, all the players we have had will be sticking with their old numbers. The only one changing it so far was Tony DeAngelo. So transitioning on to our next thing, we're going to be talking about Matt Martin's charity event. And there's a quote here from Stefan Rosner, which kind of leads into the UBS attendance thing I'm going to talk about a little later. But he says it all the time. The Isles and their relationship with the fans is so different than other NHL teams. And we saw it at the Matt Martin charity poker event that he hosted last night, where fans are allowed to go in and play poker along with players from the Islanders, alumni, and some other celebrity NHL players. It's just a good event to raise money that the Matt Martin Foundation does. And yeah, I heard it was a ton of fun there. I heard that the poker was fun. And on an even better note, they raised $225,000 last night. So congrats, earning all that money for the Matt Martin Foundation. And yeah, so that's good for Matt Martin. And it's good to see all the Islanders, all the fans getting to communicate, have a good time, play some poker, and earn money for a good cause. And that's always a good thing. But this is leading me to what I kind of want to talk about next, and that is the UBS attendance. And can it rise once more? Yes, when the Islanders came to UBS, that was obviously their best season of attendance they had. Last year, they averaged 15,979 fans per game in the team's 41 home games at the 17,255 seat. That is a 3.6 drop from 2 seasons ago now. I mean, we're getting to the new season. Hopefully they can get it up. But that was a 3.6 drop when they averaged 16,558,000. And yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking that they weren't getting there. But I think what the Islanders are doing is definitely good. I know that fans were kind of getting fed up with the Lou Lamoriello thing. No new players, kind of, you knew what we were going to get with the New York Islanders. Now we see the Islanders kind of becoming a team who wants to get the fans involved more, which is something we didn't see. I mean, we saw that huge draft party they had at UBS. We saw now we're getting that docuseries, which I talked about yesterday. And yeah, the Islanders are slowly trying to build back that fan base where we're able to be there with the players, be there as fans, not no more like we don't know what's going on. Like how Lou Lamoriello kept his lips sealed and didn't give out any information. The Islanders are trying to kind of revert away from that, I feel like, and trying to earn back the fans' trust and the fans' will to want to be involved with the Islanders and show up to the UBS games, at UBS, sorry. And we saw them, they built that beautiful park thing they got down outside of UBS. It's a beautiful stadium and definitely, struggling last year with the injuries and everything going on hurts. I do think the attendance will once more rise to be better. I think we will kind of get back to that 2021 attendance where they averaged 17,085, maybe a little less than that. That was what their best was. So yeah, it's definitely a little nerve-wracking at the downward trend of attendance showing up. But I do think with the Islanders going into this whole new era thing, that we are going to see the fans more involved and the attendance will go back up. But again, it all comes down to it where the Islanders have to perform. The Islanders have to perform to want the fans to show up. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Are we putting a product on the ice that the fans want to see? And that's what it comes down to. And we'll see how Darsh does, of course, getting that going. I think it will be good. I think the Islanders will definitely improve. I don't know about this season if they are a playoff team or aren't a playoff team. Hockey's so hard to predict with it's just an unpredictable sport, hockey. So we will have to wait and see if the attendance grows. I do believe the attendance will once again rise. I think last year was kind of an anomaly year where injuries happened. People were fed up with the Lou Lamoriello stuff. So yeah, we're entering that new era and hopefully it reflects on the attendance. And finally, our final topic of the day is going to be our Maxim Shabanov outlook. New guy on the island. We talked about it yesterday. He just got on the island. He got that visa secured, so he will be ready to play. Now, in the KHL last year in 65 games, he had 23 goals, 44 assists, and 67 points. He was a superstar in the KHL last year. If you were seeing some of the highlights he was putting up, it was unreal. And, I know there was other teams vying for Shabanov. There was those big rumors that he was going to go to the Philadelphia Flyers. And luckily, we were able to get Shabanov, another Russian guy. And will Shabanov put up those same points this season in the NHL? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Shabanov will not put up those points. But, hey, you never know. I could be proven wrong, and I hope I'm proven wrong. But I'm expecting more of a season kind of similar to Siplikov's, where Siplikov put up 77 games played. He had 10 goals, 25 assists, 35 points. I'm thinking that's kind of going to be what we'll see from Shabanov this year. I do think Shabanov might be a little better than Siplikov, though. So I could easily see Shabanov if he moves his way up on lines, because I think he'll be on the third line to start the year, but I could easily see if he gets pushed to the second line of him putting up about a 45-point season just because of how skilled of a player he is. Now, the thing I worry about Shabanov is, we know he's a very silky player. He likes doing the deke moves. Is he going to try it a little too much in the NHL, where the NHL players are better than the players in the KHL, of course? So Shabanov is going to have to realize that this is a whole new game, and I think he'll probably kind of get off to a slow start and slowly improve, kind of what we saw with Siplikov. It's tough to come from Russia and play straight to the NHL. I mean, the ice is different in itself. The ice is smaller here, and it's definitely going to be an interesting year. But I do think Shabanov could put up easily 45 points if everything clicks, and he could win Rookie of the Year this year, Shabanov. I don't think he will, but there's definitely something to keep an eye on, that the potential of him potentially winning Rookie of the Year. But I'm excited for Shabanov. I really think his mid-ground is going to be kind of what Siplikov did. Maybe 38 to 42 points is going to be what I would expect from Shabanov. I think Shabanov's ceiling would be in the 50s, where his floor would probably be in the upper 20s. I think anything less than that will kind of be crazy, and I'd start thinking, man, that just stinks that Shabanov didn't pan out. But yeah, Shabanov is a small player, 5'8", So we'll see how he's able to do in the NHL with all these big guys and everything. And I'm excited to see Shabanov on the island. I think he's going to definitely help the team. I think he'll help the offense huge. And yeah, it should be an exciting year to see Shabanov, what he does. So as always, I thank you all for tuning in and listening. If you have any ideas you want me to talk about, be sure to leave them in the comments and I'll look at them. And if there's anything else, I'll definitely reply if it doesn't get brought up here. But as always, thanks for listening and let's go Islanders.